Hi there, traders. This is Art Dale, your emini success coach for FuturesTradingCompany.net, and a recap of our trading for March 6, 2012. We had a fabulous day of trading, very volatile market today, strong downtrend, and our results reflected that. I took 8 Dow trades today, 8-0, plus 135 Dow points. 1-1 on the NASDAQ, negative 16 ticks, which is each tick on the NAS is 1 Dow point. So we netted 119 Dow points on the day. The best day since we opened the room in January. We had 4 room members in the room this morning watching me trade this, and I was absolutely thrilled, as you can imagine. The first trade I took was actually pre-opening today, before the cash market opened. It was at 5:20, 8:20 Eastern Time. At that point in the morning, the 1-minute chart was actually moving quicker than our 89 tick entry chart. And so I took the trade on the 1-minute chart. It was a trigger entry at 12,869. I took it with 2 contracts. And we got first target at 12,862 and the second target 12,858 of 11 points. So total, starting out the day before the cash market opened, plus 18 Dow points on the first trade. The next trade we took was after the market opened, and with a retrace back here to the 89 EMA Hall moving average rolled over. I took the second bar break here at 12,800. We got 12,793, got to a low of 792 right here before it retraced and stopped me out. I was trading 3 contracts at the time. So I was stopped out at break even on the last 2 contracts of that trade. The third trade I took was at 7 o'clock, and it was a trigger entry at the 12,802 was my entry price. I used a 15-point stop on these trades for the most part. 12,817 was my stop. Almost got there. 12,814 was the high. But then it rolled over, got first target of 12,795, got to a low of 791, but then came back and stopped us out at break even. Again, the fourth trade was another short, another trigger entry short. There it was. I got short at 12,802. Beautiful entry on that one, the 709. In the morning Pacific time, and again that was with 3 contracts, and we got 3 targets on that. Well, 2 targets and then a stop out on a trailing stop. The first target was 12,795. Then we got 15 points, 12,787. And then I was trailing the third contract with my SAR trailing stop. This is one of the very first times this year I've been able to use that. And I'll show you what happened here. My trailing stop at this point was 12,797. The high was 795, so we were still in the trade and got stopped out down here. The trailing stop number was 12,780, so my stop was 12,782. And that's where we got stopped out on that third contract for a 20-point gain on our trailing third contract there. My fifth trade was at 12,745 in the morning Pacific time. Again, a trigger trade short. These triggers, folks, were working like magic today, and here it was again. I only took this for 2 contracts for some reason only known to whoever. I can't believe I only took 2, but I did. And this was the 5th trade we took today. It was at 7:45 Pacific. Again, a trigger trade. There it is, folks. They worked like magic today. 12,786 was the entry. Only took that with 2 contracts, so I took 7 and 11 points on that trade, and we were out of it. The next 2 trades we took were here on the NASDAQ, and again they were both trigger entries. Here's another trigger. It worked beautifully. Took this with 2 contracts. 25.83.25 was my entry, and I got 7 ticks and on that, and then a stop out back at 7 ticks again. So plus 14 ticks on that NASDAQ trade. And then the next trade I took was also on the NASDAQ over here. That was at 8:20. Again, it was a trigger entry. Got short at 25.85. Market immediately turned around and stopped us out at 15 NASDAQ ticks, so total of 30 NASDAQ ticks a stop out on that second NASDAQ trade. This was an entry I took on the Dow. It was a breakout trade. That was at 8:21 in the morning. Got short. This was not a trigger entry. This was a breakout entry at 12.799. A breakout of this little pivot here, right here. Did have a trigger, but triggers actually were firing before that. And on that one, I only had 2 contracts on that. Got one off for plus 7. 792 right here. Unfortunately, it came back and stopped me out to the tick at 12,799 before going lower. So just missed getting 2 targets on that trade. So we were stopped out. Second contract at break even. This was during the dead zone period, folks, and while I did not take these trades, I just wanted to show you the chart to show you how absolutely incredibly well you could have done even trading during dead zone with the triggers today. Here was another one, easily gotten 2 targets. This one you got a lot more than 2 targets depending on how many contracts you wanted to trade. Just absolutely fantastic entries. This one, again, worked for at least 2 targets. And here is the 4th one. All occurring, this one was, well, still I would consider this dead zone. It was only 1:10 in the morning, or 1:10 in the afternoon on the East Coast. But again, this trigger worked easily for 2 targets. So all 4 valid triggers during the dead zone worked today. We took 2 trades in the afternoon, and again they were trigger entries. Here it is. I got this trigger on this bar. The low of that bar was 48. It broke. And I was able to get 51. On that entry. Scratch that was not the entry point, guys. Sorry for that. This was my entry over here where I've got my stop. This was 12,752 was the entry, and that was at 10:42. That was the next actual entry I took. This trigger entry here would have worked nicely. It did not take that. It was over here at 10:42. Still a little too close to dead zone for me. So took this one. 12,752 was the entry short, one tick below that trigger bar, and I got 745. And 741, the low of the move was 12,740. So one tick above the low of that move, we got our second target for 7 and 11 points. And then the final trade I took this afternoon, again a trigger entry right here, just absolutely beautiful trigger. 12,750. That was at 11:21. In the morning Pacific time. We got 743 and 739, two targets, 7 and 11 points. So that was the last trade I took. I was waiting for a big run up and possible sell off at the end of the day. I did not get that soon enough to get involved. So there was no 3 o'clock trade today, unfortunately, but we already had a fabulous day. Anyway, guys, come into the room, watch this happen in real time. You will be amazed. Just give me an email, contact me, and I'll make sure you get the webinar ID to get in the room for 2 weeks free. Have a great evening. Look forward to tomorrow.